What's going on, college football fans and fanatic family? It's your boy Coach I, man. We're in here for another episode of the SEC Snap Count. That's right, man. It's SEC all the time on the Fanatic Sports Network, man. Y'all know Mondays is our weekend reaction show. We got to recap the good, the bad, and the ugly, man. So without further ado, let's get into it.
No, I got you on this one, Coach. It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Fanatic. Where we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah. The FANATTIC. The Fanatic, where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see.
That's right, man. It's Coach Al on the Fanatic Sports Network, man. It's the SEC Snap Count. Listen, man, we are in here tonight to talk about Week 5 reaction, man. Week 5 reaction had a lot of stuff going down. Of course, the big one in Athens, the Sam Pittman firing. We're going to talk about it all, man. But if it's your first time in here, welcome in. We talk all SEC around here, SEC football, SEC basketball. So if you like the SEC, man, hit the like button, subscribe, share it with your people. Bring some more SEC fans up in here and some fans from outside the SEC if you want to. You know, we'll welcome them in as well. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, it's the SEC Snap Count. Mondays are dedicated to the reaction from the weekend. Wednesday, we look ahead to the next weekend. Then on Tuesday, if you just want more SEC football, we talk all dogs. That's all Georgia Bulldogs on Tuesday on Respect the Hedges. And Thursday is the stat line with the stat guy where you're talking all Gamecock football, man. So last bit of business before we get the show rolling, man. Hey, man, these ticket prices ain't coming down, man. So why not get you a savings while you're trying to buy these tickets, man? Go to SeatGeek, use promo code Fanatic Sports, get you $20 off your purchase. Save a little money so you can buy some of that beer or alcohol or whatever you might want to do at the stadium, man. Without further ado, let's bring him in, man. It's my co-host. What we got here, man? What we got? There we go. Stat Guy is in the building. What's going on, Stat Guy?
Hey, what's going on? Man, does any other sport represent the way they do for college football week in and week out? Bro, I mean, just another great from Thursday games to the banger Friday night, all day Saturday. I mean, you had great games in the SEC, but even outside the conference, big time matchups. I don't think any other sport knows how to market their product and give us games like that all year long, the way college football looks out for us, the fans.
I'm in agreement with that, man. Like college football, I feel like every week you be like, oh, it's not gonna be, this ain't gonna be as good as the last week, and it just turns out to be that way. Of course, the night didn't end the way I wanted to, but as a college football fan, on top of being a Georgia dog, I enjoyed watching the college football. Like you said, it started Friday night with Florida State, Virginia giving us a game, and then it just continued into Saturday, man. So let's go ahead and bring y'all know it's on Mondays, man. We have our guest on Monday, is always our guy from Just My Damn Opinion, Respect the Hedges, and everywhere on YouTube, pretty much. It's our guy, Shawty Parker. What's going on, Shawty?
Gentlemen, what's happening?
Hey, man, another week of football has gone by, and before we done blinked our eye. We in about mid-season now, Shawty.
Yes, man, and I would say this, man, and one thing I'm going to say to sum it up so far, parity.
Listen, man, these unlimited transfer got people, listen, we don't know who better, Virginia, Florida State, Bama. We don't know who the best. You know what I'm saying? Like out of that little ring around the roses. So, hey, so what's your thoughts on the season so far, Stat Guy?
I mean, so from a Carolina fan perspective, we're not where we want to be. The season obviously is still in front of us with the goals that we had before the year. I mean, I guess they're all still obtainable, but changes need to be made. And you look around the college landscape and changes are happening. I think we're seeing a lot of big time, maybe not big time, but like some big programs making head coaching changes. That carousel is going to be wild come December.
That's right, man. Some of the fans getting in here. B Hull in the building say go Georgia Tech King for Heisman. Listen, You say you just done jumped off the Hog bandwagon, gonna root for Georgia Tech? Come on, dog. Don't spit on us like that. You know what I'm saying? At least root for like Ohio State or somebody, Miami. I don't know. Appreciate B-Hole getting in the building. DSGB 884 gets in. What's going on, my guy? Say go dogs. As always, you know it's always go dogs. Coach I said, he said, be undefeated feels amazing. Boomer. That is true. Hey, that's what we say. Hey, man, we got to do better. That's what we always say. If you ain't undefeated, if you ain't 4-0, 5-0, or undefeated, you got to do better. And South Carolina and Georgia represented on this screen got to do better. Stevie G says, stat guy, you okay? South Carolina okay? Well, hey, they bounced back from the Mizzou game and wiped the field with Kentucky. Steve in the building. What's going on, Steve? Appreciate you getting in. He said, go dogs regardless. You already know. Cuzzo in the building. What's up, Cuzzo? Say what's up. Listen, man, we're going to talk about the Hogs getting embarrassed at home by the Irish. Vandy staying perfect. Auburn and A&M in the classic SEC game where points are at a premium. The Tide rolling through Athens and SC bouncing back versus UK. First off, man, SC bounced back out the UK, man. Listen, man, y'all took the loss to Vandy, then y'all took a loss to Mizzou, and then y'all took it out on Kentucky. Shaw, did you catch the madness in Columbia where it was only Beamer can do?
Hey, Coach, I don't know if you remember me. I said it on another show. I said this really was a game where it boiled down to which team gonna quit on their coach.
You said that. Yep, you said.
And that's really what that was about. And that just showed you South Carolina still got a little fight for Beamer, and it's over for Stoops. It's done.
Right. And you right. It was all evident in the way they played. I mean, South Carolina had 21 points off turnovers, dog. I mean, and it was 2 of the turnovers came back to back, like a scoop and score, touchdown, pick 6, touchdown. And it's like Kentucky just like, whatever.
They don't quit. They don't quit. Yeah, it's over, man. Like he's not whatever he's selling, they not buying. Whatever he was doing, it's one of y'all. It's time for change, and it's just evidence in the play.
Right.
As I said, they're the worst team in the conference. You have been saying
that since SEC media days. So, and it is holding true. I needed to keep holding true next weekend when they roll in. Athens, stat guy, y'all bounce back, man. I know y'all's on a 2-game slide, but y'all get back on top of things. Ain't that like a game for Beamer? Not like a game against Kentucky and his boy, quote unquote, Mark Stoops to get him back right.
Hey man, look, I guess sometimes you got to create drama in your own mind. So I mean that rivalry started at SEC Media Days 3 years ago over nothing, right. And had him in a body bag since. But I'll be honest, this is the second year in a row that Kentucky has looked to quit on Mark Stoops during the South Carolina game, and I mean it looked just like it did in Kentucky last year. The one thing that I've said the last couple of weeks is that we're an undisciplined football team with no offensive identity. And I don't think we fixed either one of those two things this past Saturday, but we played hard for 4 quarters. And end of the day, that's all you can ask for is to compete, not give up on plays. And the defense doing what it's done the last couple of years and trying to live in chaos. And good things happen when you can do that. And of course, Beamer doing what only Beamer can do, faking a punt up 18 with the game in hand. Hey, sometimes you just gotta be who you are.
And he was short like a foot.
But that's how you instill that kind of energy in that fighting team by doing that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because not for nothing, again, Shawty, you play, but I believe the team loves doing stuff like that. Because it's like, what team loves just go out there punting the ball? You know what I'm saying? So when you do some old craziness, like, you know what I'm saying, pull a fake punt, regardless of whether it work out, and at least you try, you know what I mean? So South Carolina owns, Kentucky got him a couple of times, but, Beamer, for the most part, he's owned Stoops since he's been in Columbia. So, and it continues. Now, the question is Mark Stoops going to be there next year?
I'm wondering if he's going to make it through the year.
Ooh, well, like Stat said, his coaches falling left and right. Deshaun Foster at UCLA, Brent Pry, now Sam Pittman, which we're going to hit on. And, sometimes when programs are on the fence about you and they start seeing these other Power 4 coaches get fired, they like, we got to make a move because the candidate we want might jump on another job.
And then it's like, you can lose, but now it's more about the way you lose. And that's what I'm saying. When
Yeah.
you see that the kids have quit
Yeah.
and they just going through, you got to go. You got to have change. Oh, you got to get rid of the kids, one.
One or two. And I think that's the case. Stat, you think he make it through the year?
I do, but I'm kind of starting to lean the other way because the one thing we got from Stoops, even when Kentucky wasn't good, was they competed for 4 quarters and they didn't get boat race finally. But like it was a tough game.
Right.
About the way you lose, how you lose.
Yeah. And so this is I'll be honest, I didn't know if he was going to make it through the year last year after how they looked against us because I felt they quit on Stoops last year at homing against the Gamecocks. So I don't know. But I go back to my mind of Kentucky's a basketball school.
Right.
Where do they go from here? Because Stoops is making good money as a head football coach in the SEC. Where do they turn from here? And can they go and get somebody that can make a difference? And I think, unfortunately, Kentucky's one of those programs that unless you get a young guy who's maybe doing things different and can sell some kids on something, or you get a guy that wants to lock down the state, but like Kentucky isn't known for having a bunch of 4 stars that are getting away. They have 1 or 2 every year.
You know who I was throwing that pot stat? I'm gonna throw it to you, coach. I would try to hire Georgia's tight end coach.
Ty Hartley.
Mm-hmm.
Position coach. I can kind of see that. I'll be honest, it depends on which direction. A lot of times programs go from a defensive guy to an offensive guy or vice versa. Stoops is a defensive guy, so they might go with the offensive guy. Ty Hartley is definitely a hell of a recruiter and developer. Can he call the plays? That we don't know.
He can you can get your
right.
staff. Yeah, you just need him for that recognition, that face value. Young coach, just a spark. He can he can actually be a bridge coach. You just hoping it work out. You know what I'm saying?
Can be back. Right. Oh, I think that is definitely, something that they're looking for at Kentucky. If nothing else, they're looking for somebody they don't have to pay. So you could see some of these like a position coach, like a Ty Hartley, or you could see some of these like if they let Stoops go. Ben Arbuckle, he's young. I get it. He's doing good things at the P4 level, but he ain't got the years under his belt like that. So you don't have to pay him what you would normally pay like an experienced guy.
Or you see Kentucky, I think the route we see them go is they go grab one of these other coaches that's been fired. I could see them calling Mike Gundy. I could see them calling Deshaun Foster. And I could see them calling
I could see that. I could see Deshaun Foster, but Mike Gundy, I think that might be a bad move for anybody because I feel like Mike Gundy is out, like mentally he's checked out. You know what I'm saying?
I think Mike Gundy would be an amazing addition to somebody's staff as the OC. But I think now that he's done with Oklahoma State, he was there 21 years. I think he might just be done with football. He was an Oklahoma State guy. I think he might be just done.
It might go back here and get Dan Mullen. Dan Mullen
not a Gundy.
Dan Mullen's doing things at UNLV.
But this is the thing. Dan Mullen ain't the biggest, he ain't big on recruiting. Kentucky don't care nothing about that. They say, come in here, win 7-8 games, we good. Mm-hmm. So the last thing on South Carolina, with y'all bounce back with the Kentucky win, but then y'all got a week off. Then y'all got the 4-game stretch. You got LSU at night. You got Oklahoma at night. Back home noon game. Then you got Bama on the road. It's either gonna be a 3:30 or 8 o'clock game. And then you got, Bama at South Carolina. It's gonna either be a 3:30 or 8 o'clock game. And then you're on the road against Ole Miss. How you feeling about your chances in those 4 games?
It's a 5-game stretch because then you also have A&M as well on
after
the back
a bye.
end. Yeah,
after a bye.
So this is the original 5-game stretch that I was hoping we'd be undefeated heading into. You go 3-2 and you have a shot at the playoffs. Now you go 3-2. You still have to deal with Clemson at the end of the year just to get to 8-4. I think they almost have to go 4-1 in this stretch. And I don't think that's realistic. If it's me, if we could go 3-2 in the stretch, I'll take it. As long as we go 2-3 and compete in all 5 games, I'm cool with that.
Right.
If we go 1-4, 0-5 with a couple blowouts, I'm going to be back how I was after that Vandy game. fire everybody. I'm off of that. I'm off that right now. Some heads are still going to roll. There's still 3 or 4 guys that Beamer either needs to fire or I need to come up with about $20,000 a couple times to make some phone calls. But we gotta get some people up out of Columbia, especially when you got people like a Sam Pittman who just got fired Sunday that coaches a position that you need to improve. Just saying.
Right. Hey, shout out to Bishop Frank, man, getting in. Hey, Bishop Frank, holding strong, member for 14 months on the Fan Addict Sports Network. Appreciate you hanging in there with us, Bishop. We appreciate the love, my guy. So, listen, man, I think it's going to be a tall task.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all do get LSU, who's struggling to move the ball right now, and we'll get into that a little bit here in a minute. But you get them at night at home, so the crowd and the atmosphere might go their way. But their offense isn't looking as as robust as we thought it was coming into the year.
So LSU is currently struggling to run the ball, and their O-line hasn't been great, replacing 4 starters.
Right. And Nussmeier is still, obviously, to me, something's wrong, like hurt. Like, I don't know if it's lower extremities or whatever, because when you watch the game the other day, they showed a clip of him throwing the ball last year against Ole Miss in the game this year against Ole Miss, and you could see his footwork wasn't the same. So I don't know if he's, hurt or whatever. So you get that, and then you get Oklahoma, who won't have Mateer. Hawkins is a great athlete, but I don't think he's Mateer. So, but they do have a good nasty defense. You know what I'm saying? So,
but they're another team though that doesn't really run the ball that much or that well, which is our Achilles heel. So that's another thing that helps.
And Alabama doesn't necessarily run the ball well. So,
but Ty Simpson is also playing like the best quarterback in the country right now.
This is the thing: if you keep him a clean pocket, true. And I think he can spin that thing when he clean it. But like a lot of good
most quarterbacks can,
right? Like, and we wasn't able to affect him, but you guys have a better pass rush, so maybe that you just never know. And you get them at home, so you got 2 games. You got the bookends or on the road at LSU and Ole Miss, and then you got the 2 games at home. So we'll see how that play out. So on to talking about Sam Pittman and not playing for your team. Had the Hogs checked out on the team, or they just had checked out on Pittman? That's what I want to know. Like, because bro, it was 42-13 at halftime. Like, that's a team that ain't bringing no fire, dog.
Listen, I want to say this about Sam Pittman before we get into this analysis. I got the best of both worlds, Sam. They paid you $10 million to leave, so you're getting paid. You straight with the money,
right?
You don't got a little old. You ain't really trying to do no recruiting. Come on back to Georgia. We gonna keep Sorrell because he's a hell of a recruiter. We just gonna bring you on as some kind of analyst or something. You know what I'm saying? But you really work. You really gonna be the O-line coach. You know how we do it. They're gonna be the best of both worlds, man. You ain't gotta be on the road recruiting. You collect the money. You back home with top program. Listen, everybody winning, Sam.
Everybody winning, Sam. Come on home. Yes, sir. Hey, B-Ho say, read the name. It'll tell you what I think. He's changed his name to King Bobby Petrino. But I read again, I don't know how official these readings are, but I read on social media that he's not a top candidate, for you guys, that they're looking to go elsewhere, possibly just him being the intermediate. But you would know more about that, B-Ho, so let us know. So
you can make the mouth say anything.
Right. So Shawty, this game got ugly, and it got ugly fast, though.
Mm-hmm.
They gave up. Now, Arkansas fans been telling us all year they ain't had no defense, and it showed. Notre Dame had 650 something yards of total offense, dog.
Yeah, I was surprised, man. I had a little skin in that game, so to speak. So I was a little surprised to see the lack of effort that Arkansas presented to Notre Dame. I didn't know that the talent level was that big when you're
Right.
talking about totality of the roster. And Notre Dame just kind of showed you what type of program they are and where Arkansas is at in the SEC, which is towards the bottom. I just thought with the quarterback, they will present a little bit more, of a challenge because I like Talon Green. I think he's, being unfortunately wasted at Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he can win you games, but he just doesn't have enough around him. And, shout out to Marcus Freeman the way he did bringing his team in there and, on the road and dismantling another SEC team.
Bruh, on the road in their house, and I think when they lost to Memphis, that kind of, they riding high. Taylor Green, again, been a fan since Boise. I think he playing good. And like Shawty said, just sometimes you don't have enough around you to compensate. And I think it kind of speaks to Notre Dame losing to Miami and Texas A&M by less than single-digit scores in both of those games. Marcus Freeman had his team more mentally ready than Arkansas was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you look at it, and I think it starts to when they lost that first game with the late fumble, it's just snowballed, and then you lose to Memphis, and it's like now you lose this. It's like you're letting one loss beat you multiple times, and that shows you a team that is checked out and they're not fighting for everything, and so. You hate to see that, and unfortunately, in today's landscape of the NIL, what they got, they ain't got to play hard. They getting paid regardless. So the good thing is
they go back to Sam Pittman and that culture he don't set up there. It's clearly not working. They're not
right. B Hall say the coaches were bottle feeding the players, basically pacifying them, man, letting them kind of get away with murder.
Yeah, so
because the team takes on because the team takes on your personality, and we all know Sam Pittman is a nice dude.
Yeah, he's just a good guy. He's not. I don't see him getting in nobody's face yelling and stirring the pot. But the problem with Arkansas is where do you go from here? You have to make the right hire.
Yep.
You've probably got to clean house as far as the roster and try to start turning things over. It might get ugly for a year or two. And then that third year, that coach has to win now because college programs aren't giving you 5 years anymore. It's kind of, depending on the situation, it's 1 or 2 years. I think the Arkansas people give him 3, but it'll take them a year or 2 to kind of rebuild the roster. And then year 3, you got to win, and these SEC schedules are brutal. You ain't just walking in and winning an SEC schedule. So,
what if Petrino make them do a 180? Just in terms of not necessarily winning a lot of games, but just the way they playing, they looking good. You know what I'm saying?
I think he is coaching pretty much for his job if he wants it. I don't know if that's what he wants. Maybe he just. I mean, I think some of the Arkansas fans were telling us he was kind of vying for the job, on social media after the firing. But maybe if he. Coaching for his job, like you say, Shawty, they playing with passion. They come up with a big win down the line. Maybe they beat LSU. I don't know. And then they show some fight, and they like, you know what? We already got the guy in-house. You know what I'm saying? So
listen, if you let him go, you're going to have to coach against him because he's going to go to Kentucky.
I think so, too, because and this is the thing. If you hire an offensive guy, Petrino's definitely going one way or the other, whether that coach don't want him to be his OC or he don't want to be the OC under that coach because, you know what I'm saying, offensive minds might, butt heads. So I think Petrino, if he wants to be a head coach at Arkansas, he'll be coaching for his job, you know what I'm saying, the rest of this year.
Now, I will say that when they hired Bobby Petrino as the OC, I made the comment that I felt they hired their next OC or their next head coach. I felt that they were going ahead and locking him in. Sam Pittman's days were numbered. And then you just promote the guy, you welcome him back, and you hope that he's done riding his motorcycle with his college girlfriend.
All right, why would you bring him back? That's what I'm saying. Like, if he can't be your head, why even bring him back?
Right. Like, why even let him come in and be the OC when you know the ship is pretty much sinking because y'all putting them on, you know what I'm saying, because of how it's been going, and you bring in a fan fave and a guy who's successful there. it all seems like they set up to let Petrino be it. But again, we'll see how this thing play out. I know they got to get on it because recruiting and transfer portal window will be right here before you know it. You know, they got the new transfer portal window in January. You can't be trying to hire a coach, you know what I'm saying, in February. Like, dog, you better
Petrino gonna take bottom dollar because he want the chance. And then it's gonna be like some escalate, like it's gonna be renegotiating too. You gonna trust me, it's gonna work out.
And
Yeah.
I could see a Petrino type being able to make the phone call to Brent Pry and getting a Brent Pry to come be your DC. And
okay.
like then you got that's a major upgrade for them at DC than what they're giving up right now. So it's like I think if you hire him, he's been in the game a long time. He's going to be able to make splashier hires around him. Plus, it's kind of a 2-in-1. He's going to have a de facto offensive coordinator, but it doesn't have to be the greatest guy in the world because we know on Saturdays, Bobby Petrino got the play sheet in his hand.
Right. So
he got the recipe.
I think so too. I think, and then the players may respond to him better. You know what I'm saying? Because he is gonna be in your face now. He gonna blame a lot of stuff on the defense, even when it ain't their fault. I know that from personal experience, but he still get in their face and get them riled up. So we'll see if he do that 180 you talking about, shout and get that job. So, all right, question: Ole Miss beats LSU. Is Ole Miss the best team in the SEC currently?
You can argue that, yeah. I mean, you can say that. You can argue. It's arguable.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the real question about Ole Miss: do we see Austin Simmons take another snap this year?
I
think
he lost his job.
Oh yeah, yeah.
From the mouth of Lane Kiffin, you know what I'm saying? He says that it's Austin when he's 100%. I think when he threw in the when he's 100%, I think that was the caveat to say Chambliss is our starter because he can just say he wasn't 100%.
Yeah, that's
the day I'm gonna tell you what, the day that any one of them is named the starter, the other one is gone.
That's why he did that. Right. That's why he did that.
By the Lane Kiffin statement, you can't convince me otherwise. He ain't tripping Austin Simmons walking through the facility on Thursday after. My bad, dog. I didn't see.
Right.
Looks like your ankle bummed up still.
Shout out to both Mississippi schools.
Listen, Mississippi State put up a fight against Tennessee for sure. I actually thought at one point they was gonna win that thing, but Ole Miss downs LSU. LSU offense didn't look good again, dog. It's like I don't like they can't run the ball already, and then their top running back was out. So on top of that, and then Gus Nussmeier ain't throwing the ball the same way. He's not as accurate as he was, like all together. And then the defense is playing hard, but after a while, you can't play a team like Ole Miss and not have no offense, dog.
Right.
And Ole Miss, but you talking about like when you talking about, and I don't know if it's because LSU tendencies, but you're just talking about scheme and open. I mean, guys just be wide. I mean, you're just slanging it all over the field like flag football. You have to give Lane Kiffin a lot of credit, man. He puts a lot of pressure on defenses, man.
He do. It's like as a play caller, he's definitely top 3 to 5 in the nation for sure. Again, finding the quarterback, the guy played for Ferris State. Now he was, he knew how to win, but he was winning at the D2 level. They wouldn't have got that guy. He ain't 6 foot nothing. And out here running the thing just like Austin Simmons was, and maybe even better. So, but what's the problem stat with LSU, though? How they gonna fix this? I mean, let's say that Nussmeier is healthy. How they fixing his offense? Because you got to be able to run the ball in the SEC, dog, at some point.
I mean, I don't know if this is fixable. You replaced 4 starters off a great offensive line. They haven't gelled. They haven't looked great in the run blocking. They're doing okay in the pass blocking, but nothing special. I mean, there's a decent offensive line in pass blocking, but their inability to run the ball is allowing people to sit back and shore up the secondary. And they're pretty much just getting coverage sacks or forcing balls out of bounds and rough.
It is. Shawty, you think it's fixable down the stretch? Maybe he hurt and then he get healthy. But if he healthy, something going on.
I don't know. It's tough because I think they fell into this kind of syndrome of what I was trying to say about Georgia when we had Beck coming back for his junior year. You fall into this kind of pattern of you got this strong arm NFL type quarterback, and that's where your offense shifts to, and you really lose a physicality that you had because you want to kind of like let the quarterback be what drives the engine, right? And when that doesn't happen, you try to go back to this physicality that you never really had to use and have because you didn't really work on that. It was all about the quarterback, and you kind of lost your identity. So now they don't know what they are right now. So I don't know if it's fixable, especially with, like Stat Guy said about the offensive line. It may be hard, but the only way I think you can fix it is he's going to have to make a boneheaded and hard decision and say, hey, we're just going to have to run the ball. Either run the ball.
Right. Even if it ain't working, you just got to stay committed to it.
Right. And then we'll let this, prolific quarterback try to bail us out.
Right. And maybe going up tempo and trying to bail you out maybe at that point. I don't know. It's something. It's crazy how they
got to run the ball.
Right. It's crazy how they flip. Now their defense is elite, but their offense look like they below average, to be honest with you.
Because of the focus, you know what I'm saying?
Now we'll say they got some great medicine coming up for them. They got a bye week, and then they play South Carolina at home. It's gonna be a defense that can't stop the run to save their life versus a team that can't run the ball.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Better. This is the thing. Y'all stopping the run is y'all weakness, but their strength is passing the ball. Even last year when he threw for 4,000 yards, their strength wasn't running the ball. Their strength is passing, and y'all got a good secondary and a pass rush. Now we know Nussmeier reads defenses, reads coverages, goes through his progressions really fast and gets the ball out quick. But when you can pressure him a little bit and make him throw uncomfortably, especially with his mechanics not being the same this year, and then they can't run the ball, it's like, I don't know. Now, the good thing is their defense is like that. And last against Kentucky, y'all offense looked good, but we talked about the offense, prior to Kentucky. Well, I ain't gonna say they look good. They looked heading in the right direction. Lenoris was running the ball a little bit more, like he's back at it. So I think this is going. I mean, not to get into my prediction, but when y'all do play LSU, I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. It's like
I hope if it's a race to 10, I'm all for it. Please let it be a race to 10 because at that point we got a shot.
Right.
You got a shot if it's just a race to 10. If you tell me we got to win that game 31-28, ain't no way.
I think they're gonna beat up on y'all.
That defense is nice, and
that defense is definitely nice.
That's what you hate for LSU is like their defense is like that. Their offense has been subpar, and so to that point, how good is this Ole Miss offense really with what they just did to what we consider elite LSU defense?
Right. That's why I said, we can make a case. You got Ole Miss, you got Vandy, you got A&M, and you got there's one more, Oklahoma, all undefeated. But Ole Miss got 3 SEC wins. They went to Kentucky and won. They beat Arkansas and LSU, and nobody slowed that offense down right now. What's going on, Maurice Dickinson? Appreciate you getting in, my guy. We'll talk about all of that tomorrow on the show, Maurice. But I do not agree with your statement, any of it. But I think Ole Miss. I think you can make that because, like I say, they beat LSU. I'll get them. And Arkansas was playing good when Ole Miss beat them. You know what I'm saying? So this offense, it looks good. Like they got an off week, then they play Washington State, and then they come to Athens. And we're gonna have our work cut out for us when they come to Athens for sure. So I think definitely you can make a case for it, man. So now Auburn and A&M had one of them games that I think gonna happen to you and South Carolina LSU. The 16-10 defense was definitely the name of the game on Saturday. Auburn's defense came to play. I'll tell you one thing. I'll say I did not think Le'Veon Moss would be back to form this quickly. Like I knew he was healthy, But a lot of times when you're a running back, you ACL, you tend to favor, you know, the injury because you kind of, you know, skeptical or whatever. But he's been running pretty good. But to that, Auburn still played good defense. A&M came out on top, Shawty.
Man, if Auburn just had a post at quarterback, I hate to say it, bro. Like, God, like, how do you not have it? Yeah, man, like you just, and I know it just kills Hugh Freeze, man. Like if he just had like a Taylor Green, or you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know if they would have 2 losses right now.
Right.
I just don't know that, bro.
They had Taylor Green. Ooh, that might be nice.
Just, oh my God, like this kid, I hate to say Jackson Arnold, man, like the backup got to have some potential. Like, you got to give him a shot. At this point, you got to give him a shot.
Oh,
right.
You know, Auburn brought in 3 transfer quarterbacks, and then they have Deuce Knight. I believe that's his name, the 5-star. They're probably trying to redshirt, but I think at some point we're going to see the freshman this year.
He killing you softly, man. It's like a heroin shot or something.
That's splitting Novocaine, right? Yeah.
I'll be honest. The thing that drives me crazy with watching Jackson Arnold, you got sacked so much last year. You would think that you got the clock in your head. My first read isn't there. I'm just running. And it's like there's no sense of urgency. He's just standing in the pocket. Just
where do he be looking at, Stat? That's what I was saying last week. Like, what is he looking at?
I think it's like crazy as I don't know how many turnovers he has. It's almost like he's scared to pull the trigger because he don't want to turn the ball over. But guess what? 3 and out. 3 and out with some sacks. That's like a turnover, dog. Like, what are we doing? Throw the ball. Like, at some point, when does Hugh Freeze pull the trigger? Because Hugh Freeze's name starting to fly around on them hot seat rumors.
He killing you, coach. He killing you. That's what I'm saying. You got to get it back up a shot. 17
sacks over the last 2 games. Like I say, 9 sacks against OU, another 8 against Texas A&M. Like, at some point, man, you just got to be like, look, bro, I get it. He maybe he know the playbook better than Deuce Knight and the other guy. Hey, man. But how is that helping us if he ain't pulling the trigger?
Next week, we running 10 plays. We'll figure out the playbook. We'll make Deuce be able to run whatever we need to run.
Right.
Now, I will say this is in Jackson Arnold's defense, the worst left tackle in the entire SEC. I promise you is number 65 from Auburn. Bro, in the game, just from what I watched in the game, he had 3 false starts, got called for holding 3 times, and I'm sure at least 4 of the sacks were his. I mean, like every time they dropped back, he was doing something wrong. And it's not like, oh, Jackson stood in the pocket too long and the guy finally got around me and got back inside or something. He's getting
put a tight end over there. Let a running back chip or something, like, figure it out. You know,
at this point, man, we gotta put some of this on Hugh, man. Hugh's supposed to be the offensive
mind.
What
I'm saying, like, that was saying. I wasn't saying to challenge that. I was just saying, like, that's what you got to do as a coach. You got to put a tight end over there, put a running back over there, like, help the man out. Don't just let him get destroyed
or roll him away from that side of the line or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
slide the protection. Do something. I mean, it's so much you can do.
I don't know, but A&M still undefeated. Hey, man, A&M say they're trying to dispel this rumor and this myth about them always being 8-4, 9-3. So
now on the A&M side, I like their defense. Obviously, Elko is a defensive guy. They're going to play defense.
They can't throw the ball, though.
Still not sold on Marcel Reed.
Hey, Marcel Reed is a heck of an athlete, but the passing game ain't there. So maybe they're trying to beat everybody 17-10.
Yeah, he makes 1 or 2 a game that you're like, that this is probably what they see in practice. And then the next pass, you're like, wait, why the hell is he the quarterback, bro? Like, this man should be out here running go routes. Like, what we doing? The key for them,
baby, win.
Yeah, the key for them is the fact that Moss is clearly 100% and wants all the carries.
He does. He wants all the carries if he could have them. So shout out to Moss with the speedy recovery. So Texas A&M again. Texas A&M is undefeated. Let's see who Texas A&M See who can slow this train down. I mean, they got to play Texas at last game of the year? Ain't that right?
I don't know.
No, let's see. Yeah. Let me. Here we go. Let's go. I got Texas A&M schedule right here. All right, they just beat Auburn. They got. Oh, that's gonna be a good one next week. 7:30 at night. Mississippi State in College Station. We'll see how good that defense is because Jeff Lebby got that thing rolling. So hey, shout out to Jeff Lebby.
Listen, he done already overachieved, coach.
Bruh, I think so. Like, I don't even care what the record look like. I'm watching the team, dog. The team is playing good, dog. You know what I'm saying? And for real, I was like, dang, Mississippi State really about to beat Tennessee right now.
I really think that after the game, they probably sat in the locker room and said, damn, we let one get away.
They did, because I felt like for 3 quarters, they pretty much, controlled that game, and Tennessee kind of did them like we did Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Just pulled it out at the end. Couple, I ain't gonna say.
But you know what, Cole? That were them numbers coming in at too, though. That depth.
Yeah, the depth. I was just about to say, when you go top to bottom, Mississippi State roster ain't got as many athletes as Tennessee roster. So, that's right. Jeff Lebby, listen, not for nothing. A lot of OU Nation told us that, Lebby wasn't a play caller. Lebby said, I just needed to have free reign, man. Just let me do my thing, man. Back up off me. So shout out to Mississippi State, man, even though they got they ain't into moral victories, but we're going to see how good they really are because Texas A&M defense do look legit. So even if they lose, if they play the same way they played against Tennessee this past Saturday, against A&M at College Station at night, Lebby might be jumping up. There might be some other people want Lebby.
There's a path right now for Mississippi State to go 6-6, 7-5, and feel really, really good, not only about this year, but heading into the future.
I'm gonna keep it a butt with y'all. Let's see what. Hold on. Let's see what.
I'm looking at it in that 5-game stretch.
Right. So listen, man. They got A&M, right? So let's just say A&M wins that one. But then they got Florida.
But I don't know, coach.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Okay, guys.
Let's just say.
Okay.
I think they beating Florida.
Oh no, they will beat Florida.
I'm thinking they beat Florida and Texas. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, Texas got a good defense, but again, we need to see Texas this coming week against the Gators to see what their offense is gonna really look like. I personally think, sometimes you gain a little confidence regardless of the opponent, and Arch may have gained that. But if he comes into that Florida game looking the same way he did the rest of the season, all I'm saying is Mississippi State said they can put some points up.
I don't think they beat Texas.
I don't think so. I'm just saying, but then they can get Arkansas. Listen, we got to go too.
I think they beat Arkansas.
Yeah, and I think having to play Texas, then Arkansas, then Georgia, then Mizzou, I think the combination of games is probably going to get to them. But individually, I think they can put up points on any of them. You know what I'm saying? So, including the Dogs.
I think they win 3 out of those 5.
They go 2 and 3. They're not going to beat Mizzou.
Hold on, Mizzou. Well, you don't win that. I'm talking about Texas, A&M, Florida, Texas, Arkansas, and Georgia.
So you say
I think they're gonna beat A&M.
You think they're gonna beat A&M?
They're gonna beat A&M, Florida, and Arkansas.
I think because they'll be at home, they could surprise Texas. Not to say they better than Texas, but you know what I'm saying. I think they can come off, get their bye week. Texas will be coming off of that OU game. And a lot of times OU and Texas don't play up to par the week after they play each other because they beating up on each other. You know what I'm saying? So
you know why they beat A&M, coach?
Wow.
Because you said it already. They can't score points.
Right. Well, you're right about that. You can't let Mississippi State score and you ain't trying to score. That's gonna be it. So hey man, listen, we'll see how they go. But I'm like you. I think Jeff Levy's already winning with how they play in football. You know what I'm saying? And I know he's not down there just for moral victories, but hey, shout out to Levy for turning the program around in year 2. You know what I'm saying? So
process.
Listen, man, game day going down to Titletown and Tuscaloosa, Vandy, and Bama. Saturday night after the game, I jumped on the show with some of my Bama buddies. And at the end of the show, I told them, I say, we was talking about, people saying what we got going on. I say, hey man, last thing I want to tell y'all is game day probably going to be in Tuscaloosa for Vandy and Bama. And then one of the guys said, I can't believe that they go. I'll say, listen, Vandy undefeated. Alabama just beat Georgia. Look like they back to being Bama. And sure enough, the next day they announced College Game Day going down to Tuscaloosa for Vandy and Bama. That guy.
Who would have ever thought? But you know, Pavia said he didn't come back just to make NIL money. He came back to win a natty.
Right.
That's
Right.
That's
what he said. That's what he said.
That's what he's saying.
So you saw the game against Utah State. Utah State actually kind of went back and forth with them at first, and then Pavia and Vandy pulled off from and end up scoring like 48-28 or something like that.
55-35, but yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
I will say the thing I'm interested to watch in the Vandy game against Bama is their ball control.
Don't give us too much now. Say something.
I thought, my bad. I'm already right.
You already on snap count on Wednesday.
I jumped in the time machine. But yeah, that Utah State game, and it's one of those things where it's a weird situation for Vandy. You're playing a team that is kind of a get you back right game for a typical Vandy team. Get a win in the middle of the SEC schedule after maybe a couple losses, try to right the ship. But this year things are different, and I think they might have kind of been overlooking Utah State, which
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, no offense, Vandy don't need to be
get up on.
They don't have the Jimmys and Joes to just be overlooking teams.
But this is the thing. Back in the day, your daddy's Vandy. That would have been a game. Utah State and Vandy would have been a nail biter. But the way they've been playing, they was like, they ain't even on our level, like you to your point, and came in the game. And Utah State was like, hold up, dog. This used to be a game. Like, this would have been a game 2 years ago. What are we doing here? Y'all ain't that far removed from being old Vandy. And then I think Vandy woke up and was like, hold on, dog. We undefeated. We in the SEC. This Utah State. Let's get it together. And again, not a whole bunch of specialty, special stuff from Poppy. It's just the team just rallied together and turned it up. So Bishop, what you thinking about Vandy, my guy? So Shawty, you got to see that Vandy Utah State?
No, I didn't get to see it, but what I would say is, man, and I said it in the beginning of the show about parity, right? So, it's hard for a lot of us, and I must be speaking about myself too, meaning us, not meaning you guys, but just to my old school type of guys, football, who've been watching a lot of football for a long time. It's just amazing how the NIL has changed this game so fast. You just can't look at the emblems on the helmet anymore. Like this year or the past 2 years, you literally got to watch football. You have to digest this stuff to really see where teams are truly good. Because if you're just going off tradition, you're gonna be up its creek. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. I think a lot of people are, these days looking at it like the emblem on the helmet and say, okay, this team's supposed to be good. Hey man, we got Texas Tech out there in the Big 12 running through things. You know what I'm saying? When the last time Texas Tech was good? Patrick Mahomes.
We've been screaming about them for the last few years, though. They finally done got it together.
Right. So, but I think you're totally right. I think you can't be looking at it like this. Bishop say Vandy reminds me of Johnny Football mindset. True. Like again, and like I said, Pavia ain't had to do no magical stuff yet, and maybe who knows? I think, not to preview it, but I think Alabama gonna get them, but because they got beat last year, and I think they're gonna be looking. I don't think Vandy's not a team that can sneak up on you in 2025, and that's what's showing good about Clark Lee. He knew that. I think he knew that coming in. He got his team prepared, and they playing some good football right now. So. We'll see how Vandy goes on. And with that said, man, the team they're gonna be playing is Bama. Bama rolled into Athens last Saturday and got another win like they do. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I think it is a mental game, and I don't think it's just the players, because all these players ain't been a part of all these games. I think some of our coaching staff, and again, we're gonna dive deep into this game tomorrow night, but I think some of our coaching staff showed the propensity to let past results affect decision making, Shawty.
I would definitely agree, man, not to say too much, because again, to your point, we do have a show tomorrow night where we're going to go a lot deeper into it. I would just say, that's probably one of my, biggest disappointment. Which, to your point, it had nothing to do with the players. I thought, the most consistent thing that we had, especially coming from the top up, would be our coaching staff, and I was disappointed in the way the coaching staff handled that whole game plan.
Right. So going forward, I mean, I know you watched the game. How did you saw when you saw the game playing out? Did you see it playing out like a low? I mean, technically for Alabama and Georgia, this is actually under the Kirby era. This is the lowest scoring Georgia Bama game. Did you see it going that way?
Not at the beginning. I thought we were going to get kind of that typical 35-38, 42-41 kind of shootout type deal.
Yeah.
And then both teams kind of dug in defensively. I know y'all are going to talk more tomorrow, so I'll kind of dive deep and give you all my thoughts and feelings. Not kicking the field goal was dumb. Like, it just shows you don't have a pulse on the game. We talked about it last week. At times, you got to know when points are at a premium, and you go and you take the field goal. Worst case scenario, you take them to overtime, and then you see what happens and how that plays out. On the defensive side of the ball, not being able to get pressure with the front four is not good. I mean, obviously everybody wants pressure, but that feels like a reoccurring theme this year for Georgia, and it sets the tone. If you don't get pressure with your front four, it weakens every other part of the defense. And y'all are unfortunately young in some areas. You got some younger linebackers. You got some younger guys playing pivotal snaps in the secondary. And when the big boys aren't winning their battles, it puts everybody else at a disadvantage. And so watching that game, I was just so mad. I was like, dang, what a great football game for college football.
Right.
That took a potential special ending away from us because of a horrible decision. And I mean, I get it. I'm all for rolling the dice. Let's go for two. Let's fake some stuff or go for it on fourth down. But there's a time and a place for it. And I think when you're Georgia and you're that kind of a brand, you don't have to do that. You play the game the right way. You take your points when you get them. Whatever your field goal line is,
you do it when you're winning.
Yeah, right. So
right.
When you up, I'm saying when you up, that's how you play. You'll take them three when you up.
Right.
But I think y'all had controlled them in the second half. They hadn't really been moving the ball. I know y'all had kind of had struggles moving the ball as well. So it's like, here's a chance to tie the game, and then we see what happens from here. And I think trying to get that touch now, obviously, I mean, it didn't happen. But you pick up the fourth down or you score a touchdown there, you probably just win the game because I don't think Bama's scoring anymore. But I think you have to take the guaranteed tie. I mean, end of the day, it's one of the things of why coaches get all the love and all the hate. Somebody's got to be the decision maker and make that call to say, I'm putting my foot down, we're going for it. Guess what? If it works out, you're the hero and you're the man. But when it doesn't, you get nights like tonight where somebody's questioning your decision making and what you were thinking in that time and situation.
Right. So when I was on the show Saturday night with the Bama guys, a couple of them, and rightfully so, was coming down, coaching like, coaching hard. We coach when you're elite program, you play hard, you got to get coached hard when you mess up. So they was coming down on Ryan Williams. Stat, your thought on Ryan Williams, because he's had apparently, in the last like 4 or 5 games dating back to last year, he's had a good number of drops. If not mistaken, they may have said in the last 4 times he's taken the field, maybe 5. He's led the SEC in drops in the last 4 or 5 times. So it was really because he missed the big one at the beginning. They actually scored on that drive. But you think Ryan Williams just like, it'll be all right, or is this a concerning thing?
I think it's a legit concern for Bama fans and for that offense as a whole. Because it's not just this year. It started midway. He came out like a house on fire last year and became a household name. Him and
Jeremy
Smith. Yeah, Jeremy
Smith from
Ohio State. Yeah. Two freshman wide receivers looked to be taking over the world. And by the mid-season, you started seeing drops on like wide open passes or not being focused, already turning his head upfield. And it's not just like one here or there, it was multiple times a game. And so it just continued. And when it started at the beginning of this year, I was like, I think it's a fundamental aspect of his game that he's just not a sure-handed catcher. And I think to him, it doesn't matter because he's got the big NIL deal and NFL scouts love him.
Well, I think sometimes you think about because he's such a dynamic player once he gets the ball in his hand. I think sometimes he's thinking about the aftermath. And I think I want to say it was Kirk Herbstreit on the broadcast. He said Ryan Williams lets the ball play him. He doesn't play the ball a lot. I think that summed it up a lot. Like letting the ball, as normal people, we say letting the ball get into your body. Like you got to go stab the ball in the air, man. So we'll see if he come out shouting like as a receiver, going, like I say, dating back to last year, like the last 5 games, he's led the SEC in drops. That started to become a mental thing, right?
Yeah, that's all it is. It just catching the football is just concentration and focus. That's all it is. He's done it his whole life in the game of the sport. And trust me, anytime he catches is because he's concentrating on the ball. He's focused. He's looking at it in his hand. Like that guy said, he's turning his head. I mean, if you see it, that's exactly what he does. So it's just a lack of focus. It's something that can be fixed. But the hard part about it is like, what is that distraction? Is it something that's outside of football, meaning the money and because they say he got a family, he take care of the family.
They say his whole family live with him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
that's rough on a guy that's supposed to be a freshman in college, though.
That's my point. If that's the distraction, then that may be hard to fix. But the focus just on football wise, that's fixable. That would be easy.
Right, and I think Kirk Herbstreit said they talked to the coaches, and that's kind of what they've been stressing to Ryan Williams is, hey, man, let's just get back to playing football, man. Block out all the outside noise. Problem is, again, when they say whole family, I don't know if that's immediate family or whatever, but again, when you're making this NIL money for a lot of people, it would have been for me if I had a chance to make some NIL, where it's life-changing, and now they counting on you, and it's like, sometimes you just need to be by yourself, though, or back with the fellas on campus. You know what I'm saying?
But you summed it up perfectly. I think the distraction is every play has to be a home run for him. He's thinking about what move am I going to do? I think, and that's why he peaks as to what angle is the DB taking? Am I spinning? Am I cutting back? What am I going to do? I got to take this thing to the crib. And if that, like, they just need to have a conversation with him, because if that's what it is, get him into the flow of the game, throw some bubble screens or throw some swing routes to him to where he's kind of able to see ball and what's coming at him at the same time, instead of having the defenders on his back, letting him see what's ahead of him. Maybe it'll be easier for him to catch the ball and then get upfield.
Well, the first half of last year, I know he played on the outside a little bit more. In the last 4 to 5 games, again, dating back to last year, he's played a lot in the slot as well. I don't know if he's that slot receiver or inside receiver. I ain't going to say necessarily slot, but inside receiver. I think he's that guy on the outside that you want to hit the home run with, maybe some deep posts or something. Again, it was a deep post that he dropped, but some of the drops that they showed during the Georgia-Bama game, though, like in the Wisconsin game, that ball was behind him. And it was like a quick slant or whatever. So I don't know. I think he can fix it. I think it is like Charlie said. I think that outside noise, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know in his situation particularly how you fix that if it is, a lot of pressure coming from, loved ones. So, I think he can get it fixed. He's a dynamic player. So fortunate for them, they got Isaiah Horton and Jeremy Bernard, you know what I'm saying, to pull up the slack.
So think about it like this. He's from Alabama, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know if this is the situation. I'm just thinking about it as we sit here and talking about it. Right. I can see this being a situation where you're in Alabama, you're getting that kind of money. You don't probably bought a nice piece of land, and you got probably a nice one of those big, nice barn homes or 2 of those together. You might have like a lot of your family on one piece of property,
right?
Type thing in a big old house. You know what I'm saying? And he's responsible for everything that's going on in their home, and guess what? He's not even there because he's on campus.
That's tough, though.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of pressure for an 18-year-old, though.
Yeah.
Not to mention probably the phone calls of, I need a couple bucks or whatever the case may be.
We already know that's happening all across college football. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. They got game day down there, Vandy, Alabama. I think that game is at. Let me see. I think that game is at 3:30. Let's see. That is Vandy, Alabama. It is a 3:30 kickoff. So we're gonna see. I think we'll be in store for another good week of college football. We done ran up on our time. We will preview all of those SEC games coming up Wednesday. Shaw, do you have something to say?
I just wanted to say one more thing. Just you know, I'm just, like again, I'm a social worker, sociologist, but I'm just sitting here thinking about this. I'm just like the presidents that just already setting for this kid, and he ain't even made it to the league. So when he gets to the league, it's gonna be the same. Like he already they're gonna expect more because now you're getting more money.
Right, and he seems like I don't know if he's soft spoken, but so like for instance, this is how I feel like I can see if it is family, how it affects him, because everybody want to know why he painted his nails. I saw the story on why he painted his nails. Like his junior year, his little sister asked him, because she painting nails or something, asked him could she paint his nails clear. He kept telling her no, and then he finally did it, and he went off for like 6 touchdowns or something. So he said from there on, because she asked him to do it, he did it every game in high school. That's why he still do it. Like just that mentality, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, my little sister asked me to do it, so I'm gonna take care of her feelings. Mm-hmm. And even though I don't want to do that, I'm gonna take care of her feelings. And now you got all this NIL money and resources and stuff. And like you say, he's from Bama. And we talk about, I know me and Stat talk about, like when you first like a rookie in the league, it ain't always great to play for your home state, NFL team or NBA team, because you got, like you say, it's even more money now and more people got access to you. When you move away, it's harder to have access to you, right, other than like social media and some kind of communication like that. So we'll see if that's the culprit, and if so, how they can fix that at some point. If it is, and we're not saying it is, if it is, he's definitely got to basically learn how to say no.
Right. And
easier said than done. So
I was going to say, just to that point, speaking of another college athlete, Fuwali from South Carolina's women's team said that's why she transferred. She grew up 10 minutes from CLA and said that she needed to get up out of there. She was too close to friends and family, and she needed to grow up.
That Charlotte and y'all, I think y'all talked about that, like just being in Atlanta, like back in the day, it was
gonna make it.
Right. It's like you couldn't go to Georgia Tech, not just because because at that time you had no hate for Georgia Tech, because you wasn't no dog yet, but you was like, I just can't be in the city.
Wouldn't have made it.
So so shout out to Ryan Williams, man. I think he'll break through it, man. So that's our time, man. And we appreciate everybody for stopping by. Listen, man, tomorrow we got Respect the Hedges here on the Fan Sports Network. We're gonna be talking about that Georgia-Bama recap, and talking about the upcoming Georgia-Kentucky homecoming game next week, man. Then on Wednesday, we'll be previewing all SEC football for week 6 on the SEC snap count. And then Thursday, it'll be the stat line with the stat guy. Shorty, tell them what you got going on, where they can find you, my guy.
Man, you just pretty much said it. You can definitely find me tomorrow night, Respect the Hedges, 8 o'clock. Then you can find me on Wednesday night, 9 o'clock with my little crew. Just my damn opinion.
There it is. Stat, what you got on tap?
Hey man, we got a bye week this week, so I get to just be a college football fan. Man, I'm looking forward to it. It's nice heading into a bye week. Your season's already over, so I ain't trying to prepare for nothing. Just gonna sit down on the couch and watch me college football for about 14 hours.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It is good coming off a win, going into a bye week. Definitely, man. Again, we appreciate y'all. Again, we'll be back again. Like I say, you can just come to the Fan Addict every night, Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be here talking football. That's how it is. And then make sure you get over to Just My Damn Opinion on Wednesday. Stock up, stock down. Not stock up, stock down. Who you buying, who you selling, who you holding. You going, so that's the shorty stock market, man. Y'all make sure that's talking about college football players, teams, and coaches. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna tell you, these weekends is starting to get to the point where you know what I'm saying, like you got to make some moves with that money.
It's a lot of off brand stocks making money. You got to sell some of these big brand names, household names.
You do, man. So we appreciate y'all on Facebook and YouTube. And until next time, man, that's our show. We out of here.
Peace.